We're just trying to help spread the word about Undefeated. Tell us about you guys. Tell us where you are and where you're going.
Okay. So we made a mission. Like, I've always felt completely called to sing. I've known it since I was super young. And the amount of doors that have opened and the amount of times that God has just told me, like, no, do this, do this, do this. And it's such an uh what would you call it? It's such a, like, seed inside of me that I can't not sing. I can't
Hmm.
not do what we're doing,
Yeah.
and I've never tried because why would you try to do something you're not supposed to do? And I've always felt extremely called to this, and the doors that keep opening, whether it be, like, with vehicles, whether it be venues, whether it's meeting you, just we keep going, things keep snowballing, and right now we're looking at this next tour as kind of the next step up, we're hoping. Um, and then the end of this year into next year, my goal is to hopefully get a tour like a major band or somebody that's, selling out like 3 to 5 to 10,000
Hmm.
venue. And we'll see where that goes because there's always like plans and dreams, obviously, and then to keep working on that. And then sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But every single time we make a step, God has showed us, like, no, you were supposed to be where I am. Both good things and bad things. He has just shown us that He has us where He wants us, and we just keep walking.
Yeah, that's good. So let me just kind of tail off of that for a minute because Undefeated is unique, in my opinion, in that, the first time I saw you, you're playing to a very mixed crowd. I
Hmm.
mean, we're talking about pits are swirling in front of the concert, to the next song, people are just dancing, up and down with their hands up in the air. It seems like, and the more I share your music with people, the more I realize you have an intergenerational reach.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's intentional, but like my granddaughters, who I just introduced you to, and they're dancing to Undefeated constantly. But at the same time, I'm talking to teenagers and I'm talking to college students that every time they hear Undefeated, it's just like, yes, this is my band. At the
Hmm.
same time, I'm talking to families who are like, I love this music, but what I love even more is that I can give this music to anybody and not feel bad about it.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's intentional on your part or if that's something that's just happened. Talk to me about maybe the progression because you've always felt called to sing, but you're
Mhm.
also a remarkable songwriter.
Hmm.
So the progression of songwriting over the years for you, what does that look like? I think back on for your eras, I guess, of Undefeated. I don't know. You look at Cages and Rise to
Mhm.
some of your more recent stuff, and then the song that you just put out a couple of weeks ago. There's definitely an undefeated distinction,
Mhm.
but you don't fit any singular genre of music. Am I accurate in saying that? Am I
You're so accurate in saying that, and we've had so many people give us advice and say, "You need to choose a lane, you need to choose a lane." Well, we've been shoved into country a lot, and I love country, don't get me wrong, but I
Hmm,
don't feel like that's us, and so I write what I write, and if we like the song, we put it together and it makes it to the studio, that's just
yeah.
what comes out. I've never wanted to put us in a box, but then there's also the side is you can't be so versatile that nothing is alike and nobody knows what to expect and they don't listen to you because they don't know. Do you know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
have to have a specific thread of the same themes or the same vibe, if you will.
Right,
So
right.
there's a couple, like, vocal melodies or vocal notes that kinda tie in throughout the songs that make them familiar, and as we narrow in on what exactly we want Undefeated to sound like or what we want to do, we kind of purposely try to do those things, which hasn't been the case for all of our songs. If you go, like, way, way, way back, I think there's a song called, like, Anchors and Deacons Song, which was the
Mm.
very first songs we ever recorded. They're, like, way deep on our YouTube. And the only reason I don't get rid of them is because I love looking at artists and finding, like, their 11-year-old written songs. So it's the only
Yes.
reason I haven't gotten rid of them yet. But it's so funny because if you listen really closely to them, you literally hear, like, a pick drop in one of the songs that was, like, never edited out, you know? There's
Yeah.
all these, like, little tidbits and things, but you hear the same themes, and my biggest thing is I just wanna bring hope to people, I wanna bring life, I wanna bring love because there is
Mm.
not enough positivity in this world, and so many I don't wanna say the majority, but there are a lot of people that instead of looking at the silver lining, they look at the gray skies and then call down the rain, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not saying life isn't hard, I'm not saying people have been through haven't been through anything, because there are definitely multiple stages of life, and a lot of people have gone through things that I wish they hadn't because they're terrible. So the goal for our show is to just give them a reprieve from life. They don't have to think about anything. They can just enjoy the music, dance around, and have a moment where they just don't have to worry. They can feel loved. They can feel like they are a part of something. And that has always been our goal. And it wasn't necessarily intentional until about a year ago, when my aunt gave us great advice. And she said, as you keep going, learn what you don't like, figure out what you won't compromise on. Because
Hmm.
then whenever you talk to anybody, whether it's labels or booking or whatever, she's like, as long as you know what you don't compromise on, you'll be fine.
Yep.
And so we kind of sat down and said, okay, what are the things that we care about? And then what are the things that we don't care about that are like versatile for us? And we all kind of agreed we want that brightness, we want that lightness. And now that we're intentionally kind of creating around that, I think it's grown for sure.
Yeah, I totally with you. And by the way, great advice from Aunt whoever she
Hmm.
is. She's that's great advice, not just in music but in life.
Hmm.
I mean, it carries across themes there. But I would definitely agree. You guys, I told Nathaniel, who when I first saw you guys, I saw you with him. I said it's just a fun show. I feel like I know who they are as a band, listening to their music, listening to their lyrics. It goes deeper, getting to know, because your lyrics, and I'm pretty sure this is intentional for you, but your lyrics are very unique. They're well thought out. It's not just, hey, let me throw together some emotions or some experiences. There's some very unique threads through your songwriting, and that comes out, but I think you are in your lane, if that makes any difference to you, because I look back across, and I was just looking at some of the my favorite songs from you guys, Rise and Story and Shadows, some of that, to Just the Way It Is.
Yeah.
Most people would listen to that bank of songs and say those are different bands,
Hmm.
but I immediately say that's Undefeated. And then you come forward to the song you just released, Enough, and it has a totally different feel,
Hmm.
but it's still Undefeated. I still know who that is that I'm listening to. And I think that's important for a band. I think too many bands get pigeonholed,
Hmm.
but I think you are fighting against that pigeonhole. And I think it's a great thing. So talk to me about that song. You just released a single, Enough.
Hmm.
Very heartfelt, some depth there. What what's going through your head about that? What's going through your heart? What does that mean? Talk to us about Enough.
So whenever I write songs, our process is I'll write songs, and then I have like the melody, the lyrics, and then like maybe a basic guitar line depending. And then I'll bring it to Christian and he'll kind of rock it out. And then this one, we specifically like, no, this is supposed to be the quiet song. This is supposed to be the ballad. This is supposed to be like the heavy hitter.
Mhm.
And a lot of times when I write songs, I don't necessarily write off a personal experience, because the lyrics always come out really dumb. And I always say that God is the best co-writer. So a lot of the
Yes.
times I just kind of sit here and, just tinker around on my guitar, tinker around the piano, and just come up with some stuff. And this one specifically, there have been quite a few people in my life, which is very surprising, from 8, 9, 10 years old, that were very discouraging. And it surprises me now as an adult, because as a kid, you're just, oh, that's weird, and you move on in life. And now that I'm older, I'm like, why would that person not have been in my corner? Not have been encouraging, for
Mhm.
just encouraging somebody in a passion, encouraging somebody in something that they're good at and clearly called to do. And so I always try to, whenever I see somebody young, I'm like, no, if you are where you're supposed to be, then you're going to be just fine. And this song is a lot about just holding on to what you believe, holding on to who you know, who you are, and just not compromising for
Mhm.
others. Because if God has a purpose for you and you are walking in that purpose, then nothing's going to stop you.
That's awesome. So you've mentioned this several times. God's the best songwriter. If God has you where you are, obviously your faith plays significant part
Hmm.
of you as a person, you as a songwriter, you guys as
Hmm.
a band. Talk to me about that. How important is that to you, that comes through who you are?
I think that it comes through naturally, because it's just a piece of who I am. And so it's not so much that I think of, oh, I'm going to say this or I'm going to say that. I think it's just something that I believe in and something that is important to me. And anything that's important to somebody, you'll know within half an hour of meeting them because it always comes out. So
Yeah,
I think that that's, yeah, part of it.
very cool. And you guys are brothers and sisters.
Mhm.
You, Lise, Christian, and you have other siblings.
Yep, 3 more.
Pretty much a musical family. How is it being in a band with a brother and a sister and potential future brothers and sisters? I don't know. But how is that working out? Because you guys live together, you play together, you've got to get on your nerves every once in a while.
Yes and no. I think with such a big family, when we were growing up, we live in the backcountry, and whenever we wanted to hang out with friends, like, yeah, we'd have other friends, of course, but my mom was like, "Nope, you guys are your own friends. Nope, go hang out with your brother. Nope, I'm not driving you. You're gonna go do this." So we were kind of forced to coexist with each other.
God.
And I am very grateful for the way I grew up because I have such close relationships with my siblings. And
Mm,
then there's been certain life events that we've each gone through that has kind of brought us closer together.
yeah.
And anybody who's considering being in a band with your siblings, like, I highly, highly recommend it. You have the same schedule, you have the same expectations, the same goals. And so, our biggest saying in the past year is the only thing that can stop us right now is us. So, if there's arguments or squabbles or whatever, we all have the same goal in mind. And we just kind of like, all right, well, I think you're dumb for that. And then we just move on.
That's good because and that comes through your music too. I think I
Mhm.
was mentioning earlier the first time I saw you, I just thought, man, that's just a fun show. I did just kind of get lost in
Oh,
how
good.
fun it was to listen to Undefeated. And when I first saw you, you were with the crowd. It was a decent sized crowd that I feel like knew your music well in that part of the
Mhm.
country. And so there were certain songs where, you just got a couple of hundred people that are just rocking out with you. And it was just a lot of fun. And
I'm glad.
I thought, here's where we need to go with music.
Mhm.
I say this a lot about, one of my focus in life right now is really ministering to people who are struggling with mental health issues.
Mhm.
And a lot of times when people talk about that topic, they go down in their
Mhm.
conversation. It's like, oh, it's got to be this dark topic. It's got to be this, subdued. We got to get serious. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, that's just the opposite of what we need.
Mhm.
We need some fun. We need the ability, yes, to address the issues seriously, but we need to
Mhm.
show that there's life
Yeah.
beyond this problem. And I think a lot of times for me, when I listen to Undefeated or I see you guys live, that's what comes through is that
Mhm.
yes, we can tackle issues, but we can have fun doing it. And for whoever has not seen you yet, and people that will see this interview, that'll see you in a couple of weeks here in Florida, I'm telling you, you guys are in for a show because Undefeated brings it. Not only you're professionals, but man, you can just tell you enjoy what you're
Mhm.
doing. So I hope that I hope you're getting that feedback from the fans that you are who you're supposed to be, and
Mhm.
we're appreciating that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We
Yep,
definitely have a lot of fun. Yeah. We've
that's
actually
good.
been told before with we have we're strange because we have a pop song and then we have songs with like screams and breakdowns and
Yes.
somehow it goes together. And we have been told by metal bands, like, you guys need to stop smiling, you need to be more serious.
Mhm.
And we've been
Yep.
told by pop bands that are like, oh, you guys shouldn't do the screams all that often. And I can't help but smile. So it's kind of like accidentally became our brand.
Yeah. Oh, no, definitely. All 3 of you smile.
Yeah.
Constantly on stage, right? You've got these huge gleaming smiles. You just like watch the 3 of you and you're like, they're having so much fun being on stage right now. So even in talking to you in person outside of the stage, off the stage is the same thing. You guys are having fun and just enjoying. So it comes through and that's important. I got to go back to a statement though you made. I can't I'm trying to think in my head trying to figure it out. Who in the world would call you country? Where does country come from?
So this was actually no, this is now, even up till now, because of the timbre of my voice. People,
Mm,
whenever we cover a country song, or because we do like a Shania Twain cover,
okay.
or we have some like lilts or scoops in the vocals that people are like, oh no, you can make money in country. And some of them are offended when we don't. I will be honest
Hmm,
with you.
that's interesting.
And I've always loved country. I'm a vocalist first and foremost, so anything with good vocals I am going to listen to.
Yeah.
And Christian and Leith, you will not catch them listening to any country unless I force it on them. So they get peeved when people say that. No, it's all in good fun. I don't, yeah. I think maybe someday I might do a country song or two, but I don't think
Okay.
it would be an undefeated thing.
I mean, you guys, again, the thread of Undefeated comes through no matter what song it is.
Hmm.
And I think that's what's unique and what's interesting. You know, when you've got the breakdowns, you hear the screams or the growls, but then you hear this pop song, you know, and
Hmm.
I'm like, wait, what? Did I just change? No, I didn't change the artist. That's Undefeated, but, you know, I don't know if
You're
they're
gonna love the next.
experimenting, but it's just so much fun. Talk about your videos. You guys do a lot of videos, a
Hmm.
lot of fun stuff on socials and everything. What's the inspiration? Do you just jump up and you're like, hey, here's a crazy idea? Or, you know, are you planning these things? Talk about some of the fun you're having with the videos you're making.
Are you talking about like the social media reels or
Yeah,
music
yeah,
videos?
all of it. Because, like, if I watch just the way it is, that's
Hmm.
just watching a huge fun movie that you guys, you know, have produced. But
Yeah.
I look at your reels and I'm like, they're so odd. They're having so much fun. It's so silly. And you just can't look away. You're just like, that's too
You're
much
like,
fun.
what is
Yeah. And
that?
so I share it with people and they're like, awesome. They're coming to play for, what are they doing? But it's just a lot of fun. I think it's a part of your personality as a band. And not a lot of
Yeah.
bands are doing that well.
Yeah, we about a year ago realized that unfortunately in this industry in this day and age, social media is almost more prevalent than a live show,
Mm,
unfortunately. So while you need your live show up as well, people aren't going to pay attention to you if you don't have some sort of following on social media. And that was kind of the turning point of I was getting burned out. I do all of the booking and managing. I did everything in the band at that up until that point. And so I handed it over to Christian and I said, you need to take care of this. And he took it and prospered with it. And he has spreadsheets upon spreadsheets upon spreadsheets of analytics and what worked and what didn't.
mm.
And for a lot of just the goofy videos, because like we're in a TikTok age, like a long formatted video, or I don't know, he can talk all about the technical stuff. I just kind of in one ear out the other. He tells me what to do, and I say okay. And so there's different like trends and just some funny ideas that we'll put our own spin on it. And we have a group chat that will just be sending stuff around, like, oh, this would be funny, oh, this would be funny. And every Sunday we sit down and we film like 3 reels so that we have content for the next week. And it really is just a lot of goofball stuff. I can't even there's some videos on there that I'm just like, "Why did we post that?" And then they're the ones that get like a million views. So I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
"My goodness."
Well, it gives people a peek into who you really are. I
Yeah,
mean, you're just having
yeah.
fun, and that's important. So I know you're on tour, you're getting ready to leave to go on
Mhm.
tour with Rehab. How long is that tour?
So that I believe we have 11 dates with them, but
Okay.
I've booked around it. So we're gonna be gone for about a month.
Okay. So very cool. And by the way, I do feel like you guys, you're ready to break out. I
Thank
think
you.
you've already broken out. I just think people haven't paid attention fast enough, right? And I'm excited to see where you guys go even after this upcoming tour. But
Thank you.
what other than the tour, what's next for Undefeated? Because you've put out a lot of singles, you've done a
Mhm.
lot of videos, but what's next? Is there anything concrete you can talk about?
Yeah, so we actually get home from the tour. We have a week at home where we have a million people scheduled to come over to the house, and we're recording in 2 weeks, the end of February into March. And so these past 3 weeks that we've been home have literally been all practices, all writing. So our schedule is like we have morning practice at 9 a.m. where we do all of our writing and we're just figuring out stuff. We're staging stuff. We're like, what are we going to do here? Kind of planning. And then we have evening practices where we're rehearsing the show and kind of doing all the fine tweaks for that. So it's been a lot of writing and we have recording coming up right after, which I am stoked for. Every single song we put out, we want it to be better than the last. And already just like the bare bones of these songs, like, I'm so excited. Like these
Wow.
are some of the best songs I think that we've ever written. And so we're headed right into that. And then after that, we are releasing a new song, which is the heaviest song we've ever written. So it's
Oh,
gonna be a
wow.
wild cry from Just the Way It Isn't Enough. And so we have all the music video filming and promo for that as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So with the set of songs that you're getting ready to record, are you doing any of those live right now?
Not even one
Please
of them,
say yes.
actually.
Please say yes.
I had to think through it because I was like, I don't think so. No, not yet because they are still very much in the, "Well, this sounds good here. Oh, this could sound good here.
Right.
Oh, we're missing a line here. That'll have to be fixed."
So new set of songs.
Mhm.
And with Undefeated's history in songwriting, again, you've got the Undefeated personality through so many different styles
Mm.
over the years. Can you zero in on a style for this new set of recordings, or are you kind of doing the same
Um,
thing? Your country and then your metal.
we're doing the same thing.
Okay.
There are a few songs that are, I think, heavy hitters. There are a few songs that are gonna be, I don't think we have any crazy, like, screamy ones, but we definitely have some, my drummer's gonna hate me if he sees this, like, country rock,
Okay.
but, like, I swear it's cool. It works well.
It's okay, Christian. You're still rock and roll. That's awesome.
He is, like, a heavy metal, I don't know what it's like, is it death metal, black metal,
Yeah.
like, all the nuances in your metal categories,
Yes.
he's all of that.
There's only about 1,200 nuances of metal these
Yeah.
days. There's no one. You can't just say heavy metal anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
that's good. I can see that coming through him. I told somebody this week we're getting ready, we're setting the stage, and I said, because I've got a drum tech going to be
Mhm.
working as a stagehand, and I said, you just need to be prepared because this guy bangs the drums pretty heavy. And if we set lights
Uh,
or something on the stage with him, they're going to fall off.
he's fallen off twice.
I saw that in a video where he just fell off the stage. That's awesome. That's so
You know
cool.
what happens to the best of us.
It does. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks. So January 17th, you'll be here with us. We're actually in Deland, Florida for this particular show. And just so excited to see you guys back in Florida. I don't know
Mhm.
how your other shows in Florida went the last time. I know
Mhm.
the one show that we came and visited with you, that was an interesting show. I hope the others were better. I don't know what kind of response is your response pretty good here in Florida outside of the Orlando
Um,
show?
because we worked with the same booker, they were marginally better,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say that they were any more than maybe 2 steps better.
Okay. Well,
But you know what? We're excited to come back, and we're gonna have a
yeah,
good time either way.
this show is a smaller show. It's an intimate show.
I love it.
It'll be one of those moments where you really get to meet fans up close and personal, and they get to see you. So I think it's one of those moments that is going to be very unique because I do believe you guys are breaking out, and I
Mm.
think this is one of those moments where we can say we knew Undefeated when.
Aw,
In
that's
that
a
little
huge
moment, in that
compliment.
little moment before next thing you know, their skillets opening up for you guys, right? So I don't know.
That'd be the day, right?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you taking time to talk to me. I just wanted
Yeah.
to get some info out, let people meet you for a few minutes before you get here. Rise and Roar, of course, will continue on in what we're doing, and we pray and hope that Undefeated can be a part of that in the future as well. But I can tell you just from me, from my family, from people that I'm talking to, Undefeated, that's an exciting band to listen to. People want to hear you. They want to be a part of what you're doing. We have one fan that's coming to this concert. She's an artist. I can't remember how old she is. I think maybe 14, maybe 16, but she's
Love
already
her.
drawn individual Meredith and Christian figures. And they're going to be a
Oh, I love
part.
it.
They're going to be part of a zine that we're actually going to be giving out to everybody at the show that night.
Oh my gosh. I
So
definitely
there's this,
want one. I keep a
yeah,
scrapbook.
definitely. You're gonna get them. It's just cool to see people rally around live music right now and bands again. Tell me this. Here's a thought I have. I think 2026 is gonna be a breakout year for music again. Live
Hmm.
music. I don't want to say all just metal or heavy music, but music
Mhm.
that's getting out there in front of
Underground, so to
things,
speak.
underground, indie, aggressive, whatever you want to call it, whether it's fun or serious or whatever. Are you feeling that trend kind of bubbling right now in music again?
Yeah, I haven't put it necessarily together with music, but there's a bubble of people who are tired of living online.
Mm.
So I think with, people putting their phones away, or people are tired of being so tired and just working themselves to the bone all the time. So there's definitely a movement starting of just life. And so I think that's going to show up in a lot of different areas. And I think
That's
music
good.
probably will be one of them as well.
That's good. Well, music is that language that connects us, right? So it's got to be a
Everybody,
part
yeah.
of it.
It's universal.
So, Meredith from Undefeated, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Meredith, for spending some time with us this evening.
Yeah.
And please tell Elise and Christian hello, and we look forward to seeing them as well.
Oh, I definitely will. We're excited. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. And I can't wait to meet everybody. I've heard so much about you guys.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So we will see you soon.
All right.